Okay, hey, good greetings to everybody. Welcome to OurSeniors.net. And we are so excited to have one of our vetted, approved vendors on this interview. And we all deal with all sorts of insurance issues. This is always on everybody's mind, okay? Whether it's auto, home, healthcare, whatever the case may be. And it's very important that you do your research and connect with the right individuals that can lead you in the right path, okay? And again, my name is Julian Cantillo with OurSeniors.net and serving OurSeniors.net magazine. And with us today, we are privileged and honored to have with us today representing CMD Insurance is Carmen Duffy. Carmen, welcome.
Welcome, Jillian. Thank you for having me in your broadcast.
All righty. Well, tell us a little bit about Carmen and CMD Insurance. How long have you folks been around? Tell us a little bit about yourselves, if you don't mind.
All right. Well, a little bit about myself. I live in DeBary, Florida. My husband and 2 children. One of the things we enjoy to do is volunteer. My husband's a reverend at our church, and we love volunteering their children's programs. Love hanging out as a family, and of course, going to Disney. Who doesn't enjoy that, right? Little experience for me with the insurance industry. I've been in the industry since 1989. I started with Prudential Insurance in Maitland, Florida. One of my duties was authorizing claims. I believe that has given me a great insight into insurance policies and how to claim process.
Excellent, excellent. Now, let me ask you, with respect to CMD, what products and services do you offer, can you offer to our seniors? I mean, is it limited just to healthcare, or can you offer auto quotes, homeowners? Tell us a little bit about what you offer.
Okay, absolutely. We do offer auto quotes, home, life insurance, dental insurance, Medicare insurance, also individual, and policies that bridge a gap between individual and Medicare. So we can almost do all the policies.
Excellent, excellent. Now, just as an FYI, and we'll mention this during the course of the recording, Carmen can be reached, okay, at 386-217-3039. Again, 386-217-3039. And Carmen, with respect to geographically, do you have any limitations? Tell us a little bit about your license, what coverage area you are able to service. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, great question. My office is located in DeVary, Florida. However, I can serve the entire state of Florida. We have the same tools to enroll online, just like if you were to call a 1-800 number. The difference is that I would represent you as the member and client. For those clients, once in a while, they call me, letting me know they've had an issue with a claim not being paid. And thankfully, to my background in claims processing, authorizing, I'm able to figure it out and get things paid and taken care of for the clients. So that's definitely a big plus. I am also licensed in some other states like North Carolina, Tennessee. So if somebody is, let's say, snowbird, we can, look into networks in some other states to make sure that the policy you have in Florida will also work in another state.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Because, we just started for the spring edition a travel section. And obviously, we're going through the COVID-19 situation right now. But once things get back to normal, people will start traveling again. And Florida is known for sure for being a home for snowbirds. They're here for a few months out of the year and they go back. And a lot of people, do have second homes in North Carolina, Tennessee, New York, Jersey, you name it.
Correct.
So what happens? Typical question that we have always that comes up. Well, I'm seriously getting close to turning 65. I'm really nervous about what all my options are. I know I'll be entitled to Medicare, but what do I do? What do I need to fill out? Does it happen automatically? Please explain that to me.
Absolutely. That's a common question that I have. And I sit down with the members, or I send them the information depending on where they're at. We go over the list of doctors they want to make sure that are in the network. So there's a little bit of information that I gather first. And then I ease them and let them know that for the most part, I'm going to, once we narrow down the company that will work and it's the best fit, I'll make sure that you know exactly what your benefits are. And anything else with Medicare, you let me worry about it and let me handle it. Do not get overwhelmed with everything that is out there, whether it's, on a newspaper, on websites. And Julian, for example, one of the questions I get is they say, I hear there's this part A, part B, part C, part D. I'm confused. What does it mean? So the part A is actually coverage that helps to pay for inpatient hospital care only. Again, on that is inpatient only. Part B, it helps to pay for outpatient and also observation overnight when you stay in the hospital. And the reason why I like to mention that is that you don't see this written anywhere. However, if you have been admitted to the hospital, maybe you've gone through the emergency room and have been there a couple of nights under observation, your cost is going to be very different if you have been admitted under Part A or Part B. So, and I go into details exactly what those costs are. That way, nobody gets financially blindsided. Part D helps to pay for prescription drugs. And this is coverage that you do have to enroll. It is, you have to select a plan. They come from different private insurance companies. And again, I help to do the research and make sure you know exactly what your costs will be. And then Part C actually is just a Medicare Advantage plan. It's another name for Medicare Advantage. It's offered by private insurance companies. Most of them have a zero premium, and I can help you research that as well.
Okay. And with respect to, let's say the same process you were just explaining, getting ready to turn 65, eligible for a whole bunch of different things, but I've had a relationship with my doctor, for the last 10 years. How do I keep that same doctor and know if he's participating or not? Do you actually assist in that as well?
Absolutely. And I research all the companies, make sure your doctors are in the network, show you which ones they are, provide you with that information in writing. I believe that if it's not in writing, it does not count. So I provide everything I talk about in a meeting and consultation with a member. I provide everything in writing. That way, you also have it with you when you go home and are looking at it. So I do all the research. And if there's, another doctor you may need to go to, you're not sure who to go to, I can help you research that as well.
Okay, excellent. And the point we were talking about earlier, being a snowbird, if I'm down in Florida and I also have a home, let's say in Jersey, okay, and I spend 6 months here and 6 months there, will these plans that are available have coverage that will cover anywhere that I may be traveling in?
Some companies do, not all of them. Unfortunately, something that I hear commonly is, "Oh, I've talked to someone and they said I have coverage no matter where I go." And I understand where that comes from, and that's only in an emergency. You're covered at any hospital in an emergency, but again, it has to be an emergency. Again, I research the network where the second home is, and I provide to the member in writing, and including the address where that doctor is or facility and the other location where you live as well.
Excellent, excellent. And when you refer to an emergency, obviously something that has related to that, all of a sudden I've got chest pain, I got to check into the ER, etc. Is that what you're referring to, that type of emergency?
Absolutely. And the reason why I mentioned that is, and this is again feedback from, referrals and come to me and ask me these questions or tell me, I went to the hospital because they told me I was covered no matter where I went, but I ended up having to pay. A situation like that is, yes, there is a copayment for emergency. However, some insurance companies, if you go to the hospital and after they've checked, all you had was maybe a near infection or something that is not deemed an emergency, you can incur all those costs by some major carriers. Others will pay, and all you have to do is pay a copayment. That's why I like to provide in writing your network and exactly where you should go when you are at a different state.
Gotcha, gotcha. And explain a little bit about the uh, let's say I'm going to be eligible for Medicare, and the options are that you can enroll in a Medicare plan or Medicare Advantage plan. Explain what the benefits would be of them joining a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay, great question. Most major medical Medicare Advantage plans provided by large insurance carriers, they are zero premium. They are very popular, but they're not for everyone. Let's say you have to go to the doctor a lot, you're going to incur a lot of copays, which can add up at the end of the month. So we look into Medicare Advantage plans and also supplement plans and see which ones will give you the coverage that you need and how much, or we do a cost analysis about how much you will be spending at the end of the month.
Okay, excellent. So depending on the diagnoses and the different things that I may have wrong, or suffer from, et cetera, the same would apply then for medication costs, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why it's very important to do the research before somebody selects the plan. Have it in front of them in writing, the cost analysis so that they can make a better informed decision. It will affect them.
Okay. And if I'm getting ready to turn 65, let's say in the middle of the year, okay, and do I have to wait until I receive my Medicare card to join a Medicare Advantage plan when I'm eligible? How does that work?
Okay. That's a good question as well. Not everybody receives their Medicare card. We're not sure, exactly why. So you never want to wait. I've heard some members saying they've had it, they get it in the mail 6 months ahead. Some say, they're getting it 2 months ahead. Some may be the very next month they turn 65 and still do not have it. And so what I do is they come to the office and I help them make a phone call to the Social Security Department. They do not have to wait for the card. We can actually call them, and the number to the Social Security Department is 1-800-772-1213. And then we ask them the information, how the name will appear on the card, the Medicare claim number, and the effective dates for their Part A and B. And with that information, we can go ahead and help the member enroll. So, no, we do not have to wait for the card.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Because obviously they have it all in the system, so you can call ahead to make those decisions and let Social Security know, correct?
Absolutely. And you can also ask for another replacement card if they said one was sent to you, verify the address. So again, while they're at my office, I help them do, all of that. Sometimes they've moved and they forgot to call Social Security, give them their new address. That's not uncommon.
Okay, excellent. Now, we've heard the term, and I'm sure as people get closer to 65, they get bombarded with mail, with all kinds of offers, submit this, sign here, etc. Explain what exactly is a Medicare supplement plan?
Okay, absolutely. A Medicare supplement plan is offered by insurance companies. They have within the same supplement plan, they have different letters. They have letters J, N, A, C, and that can be confusing with the current letters that are already part of Medicare, like Part A, Part B, Part C. So with the Medicare supplement, what it is and the best way to remember is when you're first turning 65 or you're first signing up for Part B. That is when you're first eligible, guarantee issue, what underwriting calls. There are no medical questions asked. You may join a supplement plan and everything will be covered. You can be very sick in a hospital and they can still enroll you. That's what a supplement does when you're first turning 65 or brand new Part B. Um, when you try to enroll on a supplement after that time, which is called an eligible period, then you will go through the medical questions and may not be eligible again. Now, these plans, while there's quite a few to choose from, the varying premium, the one great thing is that you don't have to follow a network. So if you're seeing, 5 or 10 doctors, you can see all of them. A supplement plan is not restricted by any network at all.
Okay, and can this is the part that we need to consult an expert like yourself. Is can someone have and sign up to an Advantage plan and have a supplement at the same time?
At this time, that is not allowed. Actually, when you go into Medicare.gov, there is a mention in there. It is illegal for an agent to sign up a member on both plans. Now, if we find that a member has both, they probably have signed for one on their own and then signed up with an agent on another, and nobody is aware of this. As long as the agent is not the one that signed up for both plans, we have seen this before. It's not common, but I personally have seen where a member has had both, and I've had to help them, go back to the one. They're not supposed to have both, Julian.
Okay, okay. Thank you for clarifying that because it could get confusing with all the terms and all the different, lingo that's used in the insurance industry. So the supplement plan, you keep your Medicare, but in addition to it, you have a supplement, correct?
Correct. Correct. You do. And they created those for members who don't want any network restrictions and they want to go, to any state within the United States that, there are some small cities out there that do not, have any doctors and networks, believe it or not. There's still a few. And, a supplement plan. The person can see, any doctor, can go to any hospital and any facility. And that's, again, common why they would want a supplement. Also, another reason they consider is they may have some conditions, or they have family members that have had many conditions, and they're looking into their family history and see that, I'm probably going to end up needing to use a plan a lot. I'm better off with a supplement because now I know what my premium is versus a Medicare Advantage. I may be paying a lot in co-payments. So when I hear this, they usually refer to the Medicare Advantage plans as, nickel and dime. In a supplement you're more secure on. But there's different views on that. That's why I sit down and, I do the research, networks, medications, what they're going to pay, and then I help them make the decision based on the results that we get from doing the research.
Okay, gotcha. So the supplement, just to kind of clear things up, you're not limited to a network. You can go to any doctor, any hospital. If you travel a lot, that may be something feasible, but there is a premium that you pay every month for that, correct?
Correct. And they can be $53 a month. You can be looking at, over $200 a month. It just depends on the plan that you choose.
Okay, excellent. And with respect to the choices and the way it sounds like you do an assessment, you look at the entire picture, whether they're a snowbird, not a snowbird, medications. I mean, you do a complete assessment, and based on all those factors, give them something in writing as to what all their options are, correct?
Absolutely. We do that. And some of the information I provide it to them via email. Sometimes they call me ahead of time and we start working on all those factors. Other times, they come to my office and, an appointment, if I'm going to do, all that research at that particular appointment, we could be sitting for an hour, 2 hours just doing the research. But I make sure, again, I do provide it in writing because people need to know what they're signing up for.
Excellent. Now, and you get bombarded with the commercials, with the advertisements, you name it. Typically, you've heard of a phrase out there called open enrollment. Explain exactly what open enrollment is and how it works.
Okay. So the last couple years, we've had open enrollment. And open enrollment starts on January the 1st and it ends on March 31st. And that's to give a member the opportunity to change their current Medicare Advantage plan. For example, someone found out their doctor is no longer in their network, they want to keep their doctor, they will be changing the plan to somebody who has that particular doctor in their network. Now, there's a second enrollment, and that is called annual enrollment period that starts October 15th, and it ends December 7th. And that's when you can either change plans or enroll for the first time if you didn't enroll before. So there's been a couple of opportunities during the year to do this.
Okay, excellent. Now, are there other opportunities to switch plans? Let's say, you know, when I retired, I ended up moving to Alabama, but then I found out that I'm better off moving back to Florida. Am I able to switch if I move?
Absolutely. That actually is has created what the government calls special enrollment period. And at this time, the qualification it is because you moved to a different zip code.
Excellent. So, because obviously the doctors that I was used to seeing back in Alabama, I'm not going to be there anymore. So I need to have access to other healthcare professionals wherever I move to.
Correct.
Okay, excellent. And one plan may be the right plan for me in Alabama, but it may not be in existence, or it may not be the same suitable plan in Florida, correct?
Correct. I've had to do that for some of my members that they've moved, and the network is different. Their needs are different, and that's why they moved as well. And we've had to and change different carriers and different plans to fit their needs, their current needs, and then, of course, their new location.
Okay, excellent. And for the most part, I know that this is a touchy subject for seniors, for those that want to stay in shape. A lot you hear in the commercials, et cetera. Do most of the Medicare Advantage plans offer the Silver Sneakers program?
Most of the plans right now are offering some type of program. They're not always called silver sneakers. There are different programs out there, and a lot of carriers are providing that.
Okay, and for those that may not be familiar with the term, and I apologize, I should have explained it, but it's important if you're going to be around for a long time, which a lot of seniors in today's world are, to stay in shape. And apparently, this was a program that was started many years ago where they offer, as part of the program, a free gym membership, correct?
Correct. And our seniors are living longer. One of my clients, she had, believe it or not, a pacemaker and went through that surgery at 95. She's doing great. So there's so much that they can do for us now. Technology has changed. They are, able to do a lot and staying in shape, using the gym membership, is part of also, making new friends. In the areas, we have some that have a pool, gather around the pool and do exercise that way, as well. And it is absolutely important because it helps their body, but it helps, mentally, just to keep you going.
No, absolutely. Uh, and I guess the technical term would be aqua therapy, huh? They do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of everything in the water, and it keeps them active.
Absolutely. And it is, I hear it's safer. I'm definitely not, in the medical field, and I'm not an instructor, but I hear that it is safer. I did years ago had to do that type of therapy after a car accident. And, there's something about doing exercises under the water that, does strengthening and you don't get injured. So it definitely works.
Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, Carmen, just to be clear, not only are you able to offer the options and sit down with the client and look at their needs with respect to Medicare and healthcare, but also if they're moving to Florida, they're buying a house, are you able to offer them quotes for homeowners insurance?
I do. I provide them with different options for homeowners as well. And I look into to see if that home is under flood zone and I can help them and provide with flood insurance. It's not uncommon in Florida to have some areas that require flood insurance. So we do that in combination as well.
Excellent. And obviously the big question, I have a car, I have an RV. Now I need auto insurance to cover me in Florida. So are you able to provide quotes for that as well?
Yes, I actually work with different major carriers, and I'm in one program, and it pulls up, the best 5 carriers based on where they're going to move. And then I provide that information to the client, and, then they can go ahead and let me know if that's something they want to, go with, or, if they're going to keep their coverage for a little bit longer. But yes, I do a comparison for auto as well.
Excellent. Excellent. And correct me if I'm wrong, and please, with respect to the insurance, because it could be very tedious to get through all this, you're not representing just one carrier. As an independent broker, you're able to represent quite a few different companies and offer choices to the consumer, correct?
Correct. We do a needs analysis, a consultation, every individual is different and every single insurance company is different. So we look at, all the variables, make sure that we sit down and we have the time to do this so that the member knows exactly what they're signing up for. And, that way all the information they have from different insurance companies. They know what will fit best for them. But yes, what it's considered a broker. An agent is somebody that only represents one company or one product. But as a broker, I represent all the or most major insurance companies. And that is why I'm able to provide with different information and different quotes.
Excellent. That is great news, folks. That's great news for our seniors because you have choices, and that's important. Okay. You're not limited to, oh, sign here and this is the only plan. No, you'll have an opportunity to speak with Carmen, make an appointment. Now, you did mention earlier that your office is in DeBary. If they're in Palm Coast, in Orange, Seminole, whatever county they may be in that they receive our magazine, not only can they call you, are you able to set up a meeting and meet with them as well?
Oh, absolutely. I have, clients in many counties that I've either, driven to them or we have taken care of everything through email. We have everything is secured. Emails are encrypted, signatures through, I'm sure you've heard of DocuSign. That's a legal way to accept a signature. There's different ways of meeting with the client, but yes, I've gone to them at different counties.
Excellent, excellent. Well, folks, this has really been educational. There's a lot of information to be exposed to and understand. And CMD Insurance Agency, represented by Carmen, would be a great starting opportunity for you to make the call, whether you're 65, getting ready to turn 65, or maybe 88 years old and thinking about switching plans. Again, Carmen represents CMD Insurance Agency. They're one of our approved vendors, and she can be reached at 386 217 3039, 386 217 3039. And on behalf of OurSeniors.net, I'd like to thank you for taking the time today, Carmen, to give our seniors information and making yourself available to offer them all the choices that they really could benefit from. Thank you so much, okay?
Thank you, Julianne. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.